Dear WoW devs, I am 100% behind you on this whole mess within Blizzard. The end to forced arbitration and employment agreements, inclusive recruitment and hiring practices, paid transparency, auditing of policies and practices to be made by third parties, but not fucking Wilmer hell. Awareness on all these issues has to be driven constantly, and I'm sure that a lot of things will change for the better. And when that happens, I wish you can go through these sincere thoughts on World of Warcraft, the game you passionately work on. I have been playing this game for 14 years now, month by month, expansion after expansion, paid and played religiously. Yes, it's also part of my job now, but this only for the last 3 years. I made one of my best friends IRL through this game 10 years ago. I have other friends that met in the game and eventually got married and have families and stuff. And I know you heard so many of these stories, it tends to sound cliche at this point, but trust me when I say this, I am thankful and grateful for World of Warcraft for the long-lasting and meaningful friendships it offered me. WoW taught me the importance of teamwork, leadership, striving to be better, practice, researching, and believe it or not, it helped me understand better and accept how different people are and how cool can that be. Coming from a post-communist country with a lot of political and social disasters, it was eye-opening and heartwarming to be able to play together with like-minded women and men from all over the world, understanding different cultures and languages and stuff. I actually became more social because of WoW. For many of us, life was shit. Reality was shit, and Azeroth laid out a safe space to just escape and become heroes, gladiators, or just plain whole alter egos and gold share on RP servers, and it was always glorious. There has always been toxicity, bad actors all over, and we all had our fair share of that, but it always got eclipsed by the unique moments like finally getting that two-handed weapon you worked for, that last kill on Lei Shen, or finally hitting 2200 in arenas when being able to buy your elite set. I'm sorry in advance if this will feel all over the place, but it's something written from the heart, so no structure will be in place. I mostly did PvP in Wrath, Kata, MoP, and WoD, and even as a PvPer, I still felt this sense of immersion in the world and just having this constant lust to log in the game, gather the team and play some arenas and RBGs, or level a new class and try a different spec, or fuck it, even finally accepting invites to raids and being amazed on how people coordinated themselves for the same objective and pushing for progression. I'm not speaking for the majority here, and by all means you don't have to agree with me, and that's fine, but if you are willing to listen to my version, then I am willing to listen too, with no objections. What has the game you are working on become? And more importantly, how much do you play the game you work on? And are you satisfied with the outcome of your work? I have the biggest respect for you as game developers, quest designers, systems designers, class and encounter designers, and I do wonder if Team 2 has a strategy/vision issue, because from where I stand, it feels that way. As a content creator, together with Flame, we always voiced out the problems and criticized where we felt it was needed, but we also praised the positives and never felt the need to bash on Blizzard for no reason. Just look at our On Cooldown playlist on the channel if you don't believe it. That being said, what is the strategy, vision, direction of the game? I think this is something only Ian Hazekostas can answer, and once again, I really like him. He made many of the most amazing raid encounters this game ever had. But I have to admit that since he became game director in late 2016, the game turned into a web of systems, obstacles, and rewards that always felt they were going against the player rather than with the player. The systems topic has been discussed everywhere on all its facets. Same with gearing, but Jesus Christ man, how many more videos, forum posts, reddits, content creators and players quittings do we have to see until you finally understand that this is not the game people want? Here's a sincere question for Team 2. Would you recommend World of Warcraft Shadowlands to a brand new player who has never touched WoW? And if so, how would you explain the game to him or her? Because I personally would not know how to. I used to tell all my friends about the game all the time. Fucking hell, I even converted a dozen of them to play in MoP and WoD and even Legion. And you know why? Because it was easy to explain. You level a character, you start doing dungeons or BGs, you get some startup gear from that, then you go into raids or arenas or RBGs and start progressing and get a sense of accomplishment when you upgrade yourself and do it with a team. That was it. Oh, the story was also nice if you cared about that, and the world too. How would you explain this now? Oh, so after you level a character, you have to choose a covenant. After that, you have to go through its story and grind this thing called Anima and Renowned in order to unlock a different talent tree with little balls, which will slightly increase your power, but not only that, there are also legendaries you have to craft by grinding this second gameplay loop called Torghast. This on top of the gear you'll already know about, yeah? And then in the raid, if you do decide to raid, you also get these weird gems that give you a bonus if you collect 3 of the same kind. And if you want to play a different class, yeah, you go through all that again. And the story, oh yeah, the story. Well, we are in the afterlife here and there are cosmic forces at play, but we as mere mortals will obviously deal with them. And there's this guy called Zoval, the jailer, who is really bad, and he stole these sigils from these covenants I was talking about earlier, and with those he has access to this sepulcher, which will allow him to end all reality. And yeah, by this point I think I lost anyone with even a remote interest in the game. So, how would you explain the game differently? Maybe I'm too messed up in the head, but Jesus. Metrics like player retention or player engagement are based on these systems, and they are used to look nice at investor calls because, look everyone, player engagement is high. But why is that, I wonder? Is it because of the dailies in Korthia, the shard farming, the Solash farming, the Anima farming, Renown? We've seen complaints in our comment section and our streams, from the theory crafters we work with on the guides and the podcast, from our Patreons, all good-hearted and positive-minded folks who are speaking out on all these issues that have been going on for far too long. Listen, I still love doing Mythic Plus dungeons with the gang. The raid is fun as hell too. Some of the stories within the Covenants are really cool, and actually even some Torghast runs can be fun now. And there are of course many positives to the game still even to this day, but the recurrence of complaints always relies on systems, gearing and story. I really want to get back to maybe not necessarily a simpler but a more clear way of playing the game, which doesn't go against you if you decide to play an alt or two, which doesn't burn you with a million different chores to do before you can actually enjoy the game, which doesn't bake you a story that doesn't make much sense and always, but always leaves you with this weird ass cliffhanger like, oh, you haven't seen nothing yet, oh, the bigger picture is way above your head, oh, just you wait for the next thing. We're tired of all this and we love this game, we're addicted, we're emotionally invested in it. Sure, some of us have jobs within the game. I'm not gonna be a hypocrite and not acknowledge this, but for the love of all the values you guys keep to heart, don't exploit these things that are keeping a part of us still playing the game. Listen to us when we test alphas, betas, and PTRs and submit bugs, make forum posts and videos and threads with decent language, not talking about raging. Many of other MMO devs that have somewhat of a success understood this and are taking in feedback where appropriate. There's communication there, and this has to happen for Team 2 as well, and I know a lot of folks are toxic and harassing devs. That needs to stop, but I can only talk from my point of view. But everyone can filter out bad actors from good actors, I'm sure. Being for that many years in that toxic environment, no wonder the game became what it is. I totally understand that. The COVID issues, work from home, but you guys asked for change and we 100% back you on it. And once again, when that change comes, we as players of the game you are working on also want some changes. And we really aren't asking for that much. Hell, dropping a million systems and chores will actually give you guys more time and maybe you'll not have to crunch at every new expansion. I'm not quitting the game because I made a conscious decision to support the remaining people in that team who have carried on with their amazing work through all these years of discrimination, abuse, and general toxicity. I just hope you guys make an inventory of all the forum posts, Reddits, tweets, and videos from all the people who said they quit and have a meeting and discuss around these. It's your most loyal players who voiced all concerns out of pure love of the work you do and the game. Me included. I will be here together with Flame carrying on the Marcelian&Online flank, doing videos, class guides, tier lists, discussions, and podcasts, and streams on WoW, and we'll continue to feedback and offer constructive criticism to the best we know how to, and support, again, out of love for what was World of Warcraft and what it can be. Yours truly, Marcelian.